Symbolism in every religion is very important. Specifically, when we talk about Buddhism, the philosophy of Buddha and the ideas of Buddha are being presented through various symbols, whether it respect to the life events or whether it respect to the various philosophies of Buddha. So symbolism takes to the next level in Buddhism, though it is important part of each and every religion. So now in today's this series, the Explain series, we are going to discuss about the symbolism in Buddhism. Now continuing with the topic, the first image is here itself, in which you can see a lotus, and if you are aware about the life journey or the life events of Buddha, then you must be aware that when Buddha was to take birth, her mother before that night had a dream in which she sees a white elephant taking parikrama around her and presents a white lotus to her mother and then enter into her womb. Now this event and this white lotus is being used as a symbol to symbolize the birth of Buddha. So whenever the Buddhist architecture or Buddhist art want to depict the event of Buddha's birth, then they symbolize it by this specific lotus. So they use white lotus, and accordingly sometimes they use bull also, and sometimes they also use the elephant. So this is the first symbol associated with Buddhism. In this series we are also going to discuss about the various art and architecture points where we can see these symbolism. So main objective is that to cover all the symbolism associated with Buddhism. Now moving to the other events of in Buddha's life, we see when he decides that this world is full of sorrow and I need to find a solution, that I need to get out of all these dukkhas. I need to find the answer that why I have been put down on this earth and who am I. When these questions come into his mind, his curious mind take him to take a decision that now I don't want to lead the life of a prince, but I need to move to the quest and to the journey in through which I can find this solution. So he kind of reject the life of a prince and accept the life of a monk. So when he was moving out of his palace, he was using horse, and that horse symbolizes the event in his life when he decided that now I want to go on the path of to find the meaning of this life. So this event in his life is known as Abhi Nishkarmana. So Abhi Nishkarmana is the event in which Buddha moves to basically reject the life of a king or the prince and move for the further journey. So this horse is used as a symbol for this Abhi Nishkarmana. So this is a horse which you can see, and you can see Buddha on this, and the people around here is kind of looking, and these are basically the gods in the heaven who seems to be very happy that Buddha is now going to also enlighten the others, because they knew that this is going to be the history. This is if you want, you can go further into the life of Buddha, and you will get to know that it was already been dictated or already been established that he is either lead the life of a king, or if he leads the life of a king, then he will become a Chhatrapati king. That is a big he will establish a big empire. Or otherwise, if he takes the path of a monk, then he will help the others to enlightenment also. So the other will be enlightenment, get the enlightenment by his teachings and his guidance. So that is the reason whole of the supreme powers were very happy about this decision about this event in the life of Buddha. Now similarly, when Buddha was roaming around and searching for the question and searching for the answer for this question, that what are the, how this dukhas can be, how these dukhs can be ended, and how can I finally achieve salvation or the nirvana. So then ultimately when he decided that now he will lead a life of into the meditation, and when he sits under a bodhi tree for the meditation purpose, and there he get the enlightenment. So after that enlightenment and that event in which Buddhism which we call nirvana. So finally when he achieves this nirvana, so that moment or that event is symbolizes with a bodhi tree. So it depends whether we are following Mahayana Buddhism or Hinayana Buddhism. If we are following Mahayana Buddhism, then we will see that Buddha, the image of Buddha will be used. If we are if we are following Hinayana Buddhism, then we see that there will be just a presentation of a tree. So as you can see here, there is only a tree, there is no idol or sculpture of Buddha. So this also represents the same event, that is nirvana. And here also you can see this tree symbolizes the nirvana, but because it is a Mahayana sculpture, so you can also see Buddha here. Now in this image or in this idol of Buddha, there is some subtle symbolism also, which we will take in this part later on, like these. If you can see in this image, you can see that Buddha is putting his right hand or the fingers on the earth or on the floor. So that is also symbolizes that he is saying, because this is the event in his life, that once some person asks that who is the evidence that you got nirvana, then he says this earth is the witness. This earth witnesses that I got the nirvana, I got the ultimate enlightenment. So this is how these when we will talk about sculptures, then we will discuss this further also. So this is the other symbol. This is the third symbol, which symbolizes the nirvana or the time that when he gets the enlightenment. Now next is, similarly there are various other symbols also which we can see in various sculptures also, in various stupas or the railings of stupas, and similarly various idols of stupas also. So I am providing this information. You can get this information through our Telegram channel. This PPT PDF will be uploaded there after this session, so you can get it from there. So link is given in the description, so you can get it from there itself. Now moving forward, these are the table which I have made it for you, so that you can refer that which symbol is associated with which event of Buddha's life. Last one is the stup, or stup symbolizes the parinirvana. Parinirvana, that is the event of the last event of Buddha's life, that is his death. So it symbolizes stup himself itself signifies the death or the parinirvana, or Buddha himself also. So it is also symbolizing that that it is used as symbolic that Buddha is sitting there. That's why you see lots of people going to the stupas and meditating in front of the stupas. So because also it is called that it is a kind of energy. It constitutes the energy, cosmic energy also. So we will talk about this part also. Now this is the stupa. This is basically post-modern period stupa, because it is dwelled in all the aspects, specifically the wooden, the stone railing and all, which you can see here. So this whole stupa signifies the Buddha himself, and accordingly the various sculptures made on these stupas are a different part, which we will discuss accordingly. Now these were with respect to the various events of Buddha. Now similarly in various sculptures of Buddha, we will see various kind of positioning of hands, movements of the fingers, and accordingly, which also symbolizes some important aspects. So now we take up these aspects which are associated with the mudras. So we call them mudras. So let's talk about the mudras in Buddhism. Now talking about mudras, as I already told you about the the event when he finally get the event in after the enlightenment, The one important event was when he takes birth. Then second was when he comes out of his palace, that is Mahabhinishkarmana. Then when he get the enlightenment, and the fourth one is when he gives his first sermon, that is first sermon to 4 monks, and that event there he says that this world is full of sorrow, and there is cause of sorrow and there is solution to this also. So we need to go for that solution, and this is a vicious circle in which we are moving, and we need to take rebirth and till the time we get the nirvana. So here he talks about the dharma chakra parivartan. So what he is wanting to what point he want to make here, that is there is a chakra in which you will be getting rebirth till you get the salvation or the nirvana. So we need to come out of this chakra. And one other part of dharma chakra is that it symbolizes that you need to lead your life based on some moral values. So that is the dharma part in this chakra. So this dharma chakra is made through the positioning of the fingers in this way, that you will be having your left hand on the back side, and you are drawing you are putting your fingers in such a way that it creates some kind of a circle, that this is some kind of a circle is being created. So this is how this mudra is important, and it symbolizes, the UPSC has asked questions regarding this. So you need to understand this point, that what this symbolizes, that it symbolizes the event of the dharma chakra. So this is dharma chakra mudra. Clear? Now coming to the next, that is Bhumi Sparsh Mudra. I have already introduced this part. So here in this image you can see the Buddha is being shown that he is touching the floor of the asana on which he is sitting. So this is this world is witnessing, this earth is witnessing my nirvana. So this is the nirvana event in this life which is symbolizes here. And you will see most of the sculptures of Buddha, or accordingly other bodhisattvas, you will see that there is a bowl in their hand. So it has some further symbolism with respect to, sometimes it is referred to as a heaven itself, sometimes it is referred to bowl for the bhiksha and all. So this is accordingly symbolized. Now these are the two symbols. We have 3 more mudras to go. Now here in the other mudra, that is Vardha Mudra, where you can see Buddha in one hand, his left hand is on his lap, and the other hand is flattened, and the palm is forwarded, right hand palm. So this mudra is specifically depicting the calmness, the generosity in the state of Buddha. So it also symbolizes the kind of attitude the other monks need to have in their life, the kind of attribute they should be having in their life, that they should have the calmness, they should have the generosity towards the others, and accordingly. So this is the that. So accordingly there are few other explanations are being given about this Vardha Mudra. Now the next is Abhi Mudra. Abhi Mudra. Now in Abhi Mudra, it is very common mudra in Vedic tradition also, Vedic culture also, where you can see that various god and goddesses are being shown in the Ashravada Mudra. So this is also called Ashravada Mudra, where the deity is placing his hand in this way. So in this mudra here, the god is blessing. The god is blessing or giving the forgiving for your all the sins and all the misdeeds which you have, because you have come for the forgiveness, and you are under the sharan of Buddha. So you have taken the refuge in Buddha. So that's why the Buddha here in this image is shown that he is giving you the abhay, that now you not need to worry, you are under my protection now. So this is the mudra you will be seeing, and similarly in the Vedic tradition the same mudra is used, and the meaning of this mudra is similarly used in the Vedic tradition also. Clear? Now moving to the fifth important mudra, it is the Dhana Mudra. It is the Dhana Mudra. Here you can see Buddha being shown that both his hands are on his lap, and the right hand lap is above the palm of the left hand. So this mudra is specifically depicting the Buddha in the meditative state. You can see his eyes are half closed, so this is the meditative state of Buddha. So he is in Dhana Mudra. So these are the various mudras associated with Buddhism. So this was the second part of this topic. Now coming to the third part. That is the architecture of the stupa. We have already discussed stupa architecture many times, but today we are going to cover it in a philosophical way, that is the Buddhist philosophy, and how these symbols, various parts of these architecture symbolizes various ideas about the Buddhism. Now starting from the top, that first we see the Chhatra. Now Chhatra has a very important significance in Hinduism and other tradition also, where we see the temples there. So Chhatra is one way. Chhatra is also depicts the kind of a expense you have, whether it is of a king, whether it is of a religion, and accordingly. So here Chhatra is also being used in the stupas to symbolizes the expense of the religion, that this religion is this idea or this philosophies of Buddha is being flourished world over. And there, if you can see in this image, there is one more there is not only one Chhatra. There is not only one Chhatra. Here in this image you can see there is 1, 2 and 3. 1, 2 and 3. These are the three Chhatras which you can see, and this symbolizes three things, three type of ideas in Buddhism that we called three Ratanas. What are these three Ratanas? First is Buddha. First Ratana is Buddha himself, and second Ratan is the teachings of Buddha, that is Dhamma or Dharma, and third is the Sangha, that is the organization that Buddha during his time period has stress on this part, that to flourish the idea of Buddhism we need to organize in a proper manner. So Buddha, while he was there, he gave some teachings which are summarizes in the form of Dhamma or the Dharma, and all those teachings need to be flourished throughout the world. So what will be the tool? That will be the Sangha. That Sangha will help in the flourishing these ideas. So that is the Sangha or Sangha. These are the three Chhatras are specifically donating. Now here one important part. These are visible thing, but one thing which you cannot see here, that is the axis or the axle or the axis, or around which, or in the center the rod which we are talking about, that the whole structure, this structure or this axis is called Yashti. Yashti. What is Yashti? Yashti is basically kind of a connection or a axle which connect the stupa with the heavenly powers, because we called stupa is a microcosmos. So when you are calling a stupa a microcosmos, so it should be connected with the other cosmoses also. So it is connected through this Yashti. So this Yashti is at the very center, and in this center it is in this under, that is we are going to discuss next, that is this hemispherical solid hemispherical shape, in which you have a cascade in which the stupa Buddhist relics are being placed. So this is a very center point of the stupa. So this is kind of a representation of the connection between the heavenly powers and the stupa itself. Now here what you can see apart from these things, that is the kind of a enclosure here. This enclosure is called as Hermika. This enclosure is called Hermika, that it comprises the heaven. If you are following all the three Ratanas of Buddhism, and if you are connected with the heaven, so this Hermika symbolizes two things. One is it ensure your protection, because you are following all the three Ratanas. So this the Buddha will give you the protection. That is one part. Now Harmika signifies the second part is that it symbolizes the heaven itself also, because there is a concept of heaven in or a pure land in Buddhism also, so it symbolizes that part. Now moving to the other parts here. Now this solid hemispherical shape is itself called the und. Earlier, during the time period of Buddha or the initial years when when these statues were being built, so there we only see this und shape or the mound of whether it is bricks or otherwise. So there was just a mound, but later in the later modern period we see that these structures are being made of the stone, and this kind of beautiful structures we got to see. So this und is basically having a cascade in that, and that cascade consists of the relics of Buddha. So the most prominent Buddha stupas has the relics, otherwise it is symbolized. It is in just a symbolic manner. Now coming to the other parts, let's take a example of a different image through which we will be able to see the other shapes here. Now coming to this part, that each stupa has a path for the paridakshina or circumambulation. So this circumambulation part or the paridakshina path is a very common idea, whether it is Jainism, whether it is Vedic idea, whether it is in Buddhism. In all these ideas we see that there is a paridakshina path. There are two purposes of this. One is that because the stupa is symbolizing Buddha himself, so you are taking parikrama of Buddha, and second is that it symbolizes the endless cycle of life. That if you want to end this, and if you come out of this endless cycle, then you need to come under the refuge of Buddha, and he will give you the ultimate knowledge, or you will yourself attain the ultimate knowledge, and you will be free from all the miseries associated with this life and rebirth. So this is about the paridakshina path. Now the paridakshina path is surrounded by a grill. These stone grills which we are able to see here, these stone grills are called medhi. Now moving to the last part of this stupa, that is the final boundary wall around the stupa itself. That is basically for the protection purpose, of course, but it is kind of an enclosure which protects the stupa itself. So it is called Vedi or Vedika. ठीक है, इसको हम वेदिका भी बोलते हैं. So this is one part. Now here you can see one more thing, that is the entry gates. The entry gates are being created on all the four directions. That means that the ideas of Buddhism are to be flourished on all the directions, and everyone is allowed, or everyone should, the Buddhist ideas are open for everyone. So if you belong to some different religion, you can come in, there is no restriction. So everyone is kind of invited with open-heartedness. So this is the various symbols associated with the stupa. Now regarding the three pitakas, so these are the three books also associated with the three categories of books associated with Buddhism, so you can refer them accordingly. Now moving to the last part about the Buddhism, we know that after separating in two sects, that is Mahayana and Hinayan, Mahayana Buddhism was very prominently creating various sculptures of Buddha. So in these sculptures we also see that there was two divisions. One was about the division which we see in the northern parts of India, that is Gandhara, that time Gandhara or Taxila region, present day Afghanistan and northern Pakistan region, or Kashmir region. So there one school of sculpture art got kind of a boost, that was Gandhara school, and accordingly in the UP region or Bihar region we see the expand of the Mathura school of sculpture art. So this has already been covered in the last series, so I am not going into that. But here also we can see the symbolism regarding the hairstyle and all. One interesting point which I want to make here, that is with respect to the hairstyle. You can see the difference in the hairstyle, though it has already been told you that it is because of the influence of the Indo-Greeks or the Central Asian cultures. But think in this way: these statues of Buddha are being constructed in 1st century AD and onwards. But there is a time period of around 400 years till the when the Buddha died, and there was no written document or any kind of sculptures were being made. So how we know that Buddha had the hair, these kind of hairs, or do he had hairs or not? So that is also a question. So that is not very established. So this is just the imagination of the artist. So this is how the artist is imagining these things. Otherwise, whether it is mustache or whether it is hairstyle, these are not being established that whether Buddha was having them or not. It is just the artistic freedom being utilized by the artist here. Now, similarly, about the symbolism again, apart from these schools of sculpture art, we also see one more art or one more school of sculpture art being developed in the southern part of India, that is Amaravati school of art. And here you can see the various symbolism in the form of various animals, like here you can see the elephant and Buddha also. So these kind of symbolism are also being used. These are called narrative art. So what they do in this, that they present Buddha, or they present various lives of Buddha or the stories associated with them in the form of these sculptures, where you can see the Buddha also and various other animals and the various followers and the various other characters. So which are basically the presentation of the Jataka story, that is the stories related with the Buddha and the previous births of Buddha. So this is being repeated in this way. So this is kind of a symbolism we see here, and these are all the symbolism are associated with Buddhism. So through this way we have covered not only the architecture but the art part also, because symbolism are very important in the art, in the various sculptures also. So when you see a stupa, the stupa is not just a architecture, it comprises of various artistic presentation also with respect to the sculpture specifically, because when these stupas were being built with the stone, then the stone railings and these gates or the toran, we got the spaces to decorate it. Now these spaces were utilized for the decoration purpose, and various symbols associated with Buddha were being drawn on them for beautification also. So this is all for today. We will keep coming with these kind of informative videos for you. So keep following us. Thank you so much. This is Deepak Thakur signing off for today.